Okay, so good morning and welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today's October 26th. It's 10 a.m. and this is our regular board meeting. And we open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Frankert. Please bow your heads. Lord, as we gather today at this meeting, we ask that you will be in our midst. Help us to make decisions that will be pleasing to you. Help us to be able to discuss the matters at hand in a reasonable way. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I'd like to take a little extra and have a moment of silence for Kenny Estep and thoughts and prayers to Marietta, who were loss of Kenny here. So.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Schuff,
Here.
Commissioner Frankert.
Here.
So I will accept the motion to approve the written minutes of our previous board session on Thursday, October 19th, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Thank you. We'll jump into commissioner reports. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead.
Okay. Commissioner Frankert, you beat me to the draw.
Dr. Frankert first.
Not really. So I just take a few minutes just to, remember Kenny a little bit for,
Yeah.
boy, I tell you, there's a, previous county commissioner, Clinton Township trustee, and, when you go through reading all of his accomplishments through time here, 86 years, and he was certainly a dedicated, person for the community. From, being on the foundation of the Clinton Fire Department, being one of the original founding members, through Tiffin Farmers Board, working there to build the elevator, and many, many accomplishments. We need to have more people like that in the county. So,
I'm a Pleasant Township guy, so he was responsible to get that bridge across the river that goes into Arm and Hammer.
Yep.
I remember talking to him about that way back as a citizen. Started in Morrison Lake,
Yes.
and he went to Old Fort
Yep.
High School, and so I kind of thought he was more like maybe went to Columbia or something, but back then,
Well, so the same thing happened with, back then, you
Yeah.
had the option, because actually my dad was in Clinton Township. So then when they closed the school, you had the opportunity to go to Old Fort or go to Columbia. So a lot of those guys, they all went to Old Fort.
all the
then.
farm guys went to Old
Went to
Fort.
Old Fort then, and that's when they, graduated.
You
from
remember
there.
that at all, Mr.
Oh,
Bradley?
yes, you couldn't pass him without, he had to talk to you.
Yeah, Kenny?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, Kenny, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
great guy. Yeah, many stories. He can really,
You know him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Being as young as you are, you
When
remember?
I used to work at Fort Ball, he was in there every single week. I want to say it was Wednesdays, but he had his regular lunch crew, and
Fridays.
Fridays, Fridays,
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
religiously. I knew I was going to see him. Great public servant.
And one more comment on him, since I'm glad you brought him up, thank you. When we were at the township meeting, that's the last time we saw him. I saw him.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, you saw him, yeah, but he was involved in the bed tax. When they started the bed tax, that was under his, and he was a commissioner, and also the 0.25% sales tax. He said, we were so desperate, we couldn't make payroll, so we had to do something. So they implemented that sales tax, and we talked a little bit, and that was my last conversation with
Sure.
him. But
How many terms did he have as commissioner?
I think 3, I believe, at least, yes, I believe.
That's not easy to do, to get reelected for commissioner that many times.
No, that's exactly right. But, those guys, there's a good crew in there, very conservative, and, Kenny was boots on the ground, and, he was at everything, so,
just like you are. That's good. Appreciate that. Go ahead, thank you.
Had a meeting with Brian Glover last week, kind of solidify the grant, $230,000 to Commission on Aging. Kind of worked with him on some direction stuff that he's going to kind of break the funds down and utilize it within the Commission on Aging. last Thursday night, was over to OSU. They had their quarterly, I call it stakeholder meeting with everybody that's involved with extension there. Kind of had their, from SNAP Ed to Presley with being the egg educator, and then Katie with the extension, working with the 4-H youth and stuff on that. So about a good hour meeting on that. And it just, again, it shows that all the activities that they are involved in, page after page of working with kids and adult and stuff, especially the staff ed. And one thing, benefit of SNAP Ed, they do have 2 employees that's federally funded, so that, there's no cost to the county for having the SNAP Ed educators there, and they're working with schools and also some other related stuff on that. So, we're real fortunate for them to have, that money stream coming in, keep it off our budget, so. This morning, Sherry and I was over at WTTF, did introductions for her, and just kind of gave them an update for the, what's been happening here in the county. And tonight's the chamber annual meeting, so plan on being there for that. So that's what I've been up to.
Good. Mr. Shuff.
Yeah, so this week, we had a meeting with Mike Ditto here to discuss potential projects here for the county as we dive into season where it's capital budget. We were discussing some of our priorities, and I think we have a better way this year of tackling it as opposed to past years. We're going to work with the municipalities, the cities and stuff, kind of see where they're aligned and what they want to get done, instead of us going to our representatives and senators and asking them for 20 different things. If we can kind of narrow that and work together here as far as what our priorities are, they're not going to be getting hit from all angles. So that was a very productive meeting. Ditch hearing that we had here about 2 or 3 days ago with 5 or 6 other counties. Had a ditch hearing meeting. TSEP board.
Interesting.
That was longer than what it,
That's a steal your thunder.
Yeah, usually those are 2-minute meetings. That was
long.
Yeah.
good questions asked though.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I also attended a TSEP board meeting. Got some updates from Aaron and his group. It was pretty well attended, and some good things happening there. Also had a meeting with Bryce and Marissa this week. We went over some stuff for the bicentennial coming up. That'll be April of 2024, but doing some idea shooting here and working on some really cool things, which I'm going to wait for them to announce those. Don't want to steal their thunder. Bicentennial committee yesterday, I attended that at the museum. Good group of people here. We're trying to make a nice event. One thing I like that we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to get some money out to the villages and stuff to kind of let them put a spin on some of the stuff that they want to do to celebrate their villages, heritage and that sort of thing. So we're going to be sending a little bit of money out there to the rural areas, and it's a good group of people there, but 200 years here for Seneca County, so we're just trying to get ready for that. And then
is there any homework from that meeting that we need to do?
we got a lot of it done in the meeting yesterday, but yeah, a lot of it was handled in-house, but yeah, it's good. We're gonna try to get a cannon down there for the April ceremony, see if we can fire a cannon, maybe get some of the marching bands down there, and it should be a nice event, but they got stuff playing throughout the summer, so.
Good.
Let's see here. Like Commissioner Franker said, chambering will mean tonight. I think a couple of us will be in attendance, maybe all 3. And then next week we have our Main Street accreditation meeting. That's through the Downtown Development Committee. So Main Street, they'll come and they'll do inventory and stock of everything that we're working on here, and just it's a loaded process. So Don's got a lot on her plate right now, but I'll be the commissioner representative for that. So good organization and just getting a lot of good things done, and it's been a busy week.
Great. Couple additional items to add. The first one would be the sheriff and I attended a regional jail meeting a couple days ago, it was yesterday, and we met in Fremont. And this has to do with this $500,000 grant that Sandusky, Seneca, and Ottawa County have. I will say I think the meeting went better than I anticipated that it would go. We are simply in the information gathering stage, but more to come on that. We'll report out. So just so the public knows, Seneca, Sandusky, and Ottawa County contributed $50,000 apiece. We applied for this regional mental health / jail facility, and that's kind of a broad umbrella, but we're digging deep into it, which I liked. I didn't want to run right to we're going to build a jail. Let's get into the mental health component, and I thought that I felt pretty positive that that's going to be done. Mersha from the mental health. We all know that Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca / Wyandotte are all under his jurisdiction, so he's part of the meeting, although Wyandotte County isn't, but it's great to have him there. So more to come on that. I think we're just trying to get our money's worth, and see if we can get some good information to make some decisions. So that was good. The sheriff and I drove back. We went out to the public safety building at 5 with Tiffin police chief / SWAT team and our EMS squad. Our EMS, say squad, I don't want to say this. Our EMS, Seneca County EMS, will be part of the tactical team that we have in the county. We've had 2 of our EMS individuals approach us that they wanted to go into this. Excuse me. And Don supported that, our EMS director, and then the sheriff. They really welcomed us into the fold. There's a lot that goes on. We use the West Lodi incident and the Mohawk schools and all the what ifs. And then the other part of this is if we were to invest in tactical gear, I think I might have mentioned this before, but you don't really think of EMS personnel as wearing a vest, let's say. But they get called domestic violence cases, mental health cases, and sometimes it gets a little rough in there as they walk into a house and they're trying to work on somebody. And so I never thought of that. So it's a dual purpose for having the equipment and some training. And so we have added that to our grant to Mr. Ditto. When he was in here, we kind of lumped that ask into our EMS component of the grant. So I just wanted the public to know that. Really appreciate the sheriff's support, and I'm looking forward to training and just communicating better and working together all throughout the county. I think it was a great meeting. We also got another report from the sheriff that I think this was his 5th inspection in the jail, passed with flying colors.
Is this a federal inspection?
This is a federal inspection. We have ICE prisoners in the back, and so we have to comply with state and with federal. He informed me that this was the first inspection of the 2019 standards. Remember, we were operating under the old standards. We flipped a switch. We're now under the 2019. We passed with flying colors, and as a result of that, he said he's got a surprise for us down the road, and we'll wait to hear from him. But I think it's going to be pretty good news. So hats off to them. I mean, he's worked hard. He's asking us for money, and maybe we're starting to see the fruits of all our labor out there. I was really impressed with, just had a day hanging out with him. It was kind of nice. With that, I'll jump over to.
We were actually going to talk about the meeting we was at Fort Fostoria for the economic.
Go ahead, yeah.
For the
annexation meeting.
Annexation meeting, so that was.
Thank you, yeah.
Right.
We both missed that. So they've approved, we'll be taking action down here in a resolution for a 20-year annexation agreement with the city of Fostoria and the 2 townships that border that. Very similar to what Tiffin has done.
Yep, sure.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, no, I forgot to.
That passed. It's been a lot of work, a lot of meetings, and
because it's kind
really
of like
glad
an
everybody came together.
and finally got it solidified the other night, so,
And this is simply the townships. So you have Jackson Township and Loudon that border, and if somebody wants to annex into the city of Fostoria, the townships, they lose that revenue, they lose that land. The people that annex in, they want access to the water and the sewers, and so how does all that work? And so there's an agreement they hashed out, the townships will get paid over a period of time, some of the tax money and ultimately made whole. And it was pretty, it wasn't an automatic renewal.
Right.
There was a lot of discussions, but everybody worked it out,
Yep.
so that's exciting. Okay, anything else? And then we'll go to Barb.
Got to see Jimmy yesterday. He was at the meeting there in place of Audrey Flood. It was
Yeah.
coming from our office and then sitting in a board meeting with him. Seems like he's doing good. Just wanted to give it an update.
Shout out to him. Okay, good. All right, Barb, over to you. County Administrator report.
I just have a couple of things. Just want to let you know that our sales tax that we collected for the month of October was $959,528.64, which is down a little over $30,000 from the previous year, but it is down almost $58,500 from the previous month. So we knew this was coming.
We're still tracking
We're still
here.
tracking okay, that we will collect what was certified, but we only have 2 months to go, so.
Can't keep a trend like that going, right?
Yeah, I don't want to keep it going the other direction, but it looks like we're trending in the right, we're still trending the right direction, so.
And so for next year so far, we're certified holding what we took in this year?
Yeah, I
think
believe
that's
so.
what the Budget Commission.
I believe so,
Yep.
yes.
So they could leave it alone,
Mhm.
raise it, or
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
lower it. So we'll see how that
yeah, we'll see
goes.
how that plays out.
See how the trend
So,
goes.
Here,
Yeah,
Dawn's
just so
in
the
there.
public understands the sales tax,
Yeah.
that's more than half of our revenue.
Well, and I will also tell you that October's collection that we received is actually, most of it comes from August sales. And the state has done a tax-free weekend for school supplies. It's usually that first weekend of August. I don't know if that really affects, but it could. But I think going forward, from what I understand, is that they are trying to extend that period of time. The state is trying to extend that period of time for that tax-free. So we might have to look into that a little bit to see how that's going to affect our collection.
But for the prior 3 years, sales tax has gone up like this every month.
Yeah, yeah,
And we would be several $100,000 more at the end of the year than we anticipated. And month over month, we can go back and look, I mean, for 30 straight months or more, month over month, tax was greater than the prior year's month. We've seen a couple dips this year. That might be our third or fourth month where we were less in sales tax than the year before, same month. So I think we've obviously leveled out here a little bit. And then if we hold our own, great. If we start going the other direction, then we'll have to, obviously talk about it.
yeah.
Thank you.
I also want to let you know that we have all been registered and hotel reservations have been made for the CCAO conference. It takes place December 6th, 7th, and 8th in Columbus. That is all been taken care of. So we may want to look into moving our Thursday meeting that week, maybe to Tuesday. That way, if there's any business that needs to be conducted, somebody doesn't have to wait
Let's
2
just do it.
weeks.
Yeah, do it.
That's just.
Okay, so we'll move that
You guys
meeting to
good?
Tuesday the 5th.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just make sure everybody knows.
Yep, I will put a notice out when I send out.
As we get closer to going down there, we can all talk about, there's some great programs now.
Yeah, try to divide it
Yeah,
for two at
try
the same
that.
time and
Right.
figure out, yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
We did that last time.
Yeah.
It was very helpful for you. This would be a great,
Yeah, there's
ton
I
of
think one
administrators.
afternoon that they do nothing but administrator.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, last year I was in with Jamie on that, just kinda, yeah.
Yeah, so
But
that
you
that
were-
will be very
you were-
helpful to me, I think.
Yeah, oh, definitely, it
Oh,
was good.
So-
it's well worth it.
The only other thing I have, I had an email from Pamela Moyer out at Oriana House. The Crossway facility has 3 walk-through body scanners. They're being replaced with updated ones. And the current scanners are over 10 years old, but in good working order. They were bought with Crossway grant money, so the county actually owns the property because we are the pass-through. So we own them. They are looking to see if there's a home for them. They have one that the Seneca County Probation Services at Oriana House would like to have, so I'm more than happy to give that. But they have two other ones.
RTA.
The only problem is when you have them, you have to have someone staffed to be able to watch them. So, you know, and at the RTA building, you have two entrances that public can use.
Weren't they concerned during like tax time, or there was a 1 month span or 2 week span that they were worried about having security at the RTA building?
Yeah, because of the tax collection, the amount of money they collect.
Well, I mean,
it's-
instead of
I
having it
don't-
staffed every week, but maybe during like 2 or 3 weeks if we need to send a
So,
sheriff over.
I don't know, but, I mean, it's
Yeah,
an
I think
option.
sure, that's true, but we don't need a body scanner for RTA.
Correct. We just need, I think we just need to make sure that, but yeah, these are full body scanners,
Yeah.
so, I just wasn't sure
Is
what.
there anybody else in the county that's reached
We have
out?
one extra one. Is that
We
what
would
you're
have
saying?
two. We would
Yeah,
have
we have
two. They
two.
have a total of three.
Okay.
Oriana is gonna keep one of them, so, there
See
would
if
be
the sheriff has
two.
any ideas?
And I didn't know if the youth center already has one, or if they would need something out there, so I'm just gonna forward it on, I'll forward it on to the sheriff and the youth center and see, and maybe suggest if we put it in the RTA, if he would have staff available during tax collection, maybe somebody
I
could.
don't know if it's a permanent, or if it's a. Right,
These look like they are mobile. They don't look like, this is the picture that was sent, so,
Sometimes just the visual of them or the sight of them you're walking in a building might
yeah,
make you,
might
you're-
deter.
be on your best
But
behavior.
I mean, I don't know, but, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not like, you know.
I just remember some of the folks at the RTA talking about that during certain times of year.
yeah, because the treasurer's office does take in quite a bit of money during tax collection. I mean,
And there's cash and.
there's cash, and so we all know that, you know, there has been one incident that I'm aware of, and this happened many, many, many years ago when Marguerite was treasurer.
What happened?
There was a possible theft
Yeah.
at that point. Excuse me, so,
That's one of Kenny's step stories. Was when he was in it, they had to put, you know, when they had.
Hey, Kenny.
Right, so, yeah. That was,
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so, but yes, I can pass that along and see if there's any interest. Other than that, they're gonna dispose of them, so.
Yeah, I'd say if the sheriff, I mean, if it's something simple, he can, you know, move around or whatever, if they got something going on, it'd be great.
Are they worth anything on gov.deals?
Probably not, they're 10 years old. I wouldn't, I mean,
Gotta be somebody out there that
I'm
can
not
use it.
sure, but,
So we're good shape with RTA, what you brought up, RTA Johnson there. Everything good?
No,
No,
you're
I'm
talking
on
about
that- I'm on the
CSB
other-
building,
yeah,
Board
I'm thinking
of
that right
Health.
now because of the elections in the seventh, somehow that was in my head, so.
everything is going well at the
Everything's
CSB
going
building.
good, and we're gonna
Mhm.
move everything back in.
Yep, they are still on schedule, I believe, for the 7th to move
Right.
back in.
Yeah, we're
And I understand that regional planning has moved back into their office. So they should be up and running today. So I don't foresee there being
RTA 's
any
fine.
other buildings that we have issues with, so.
Okay, thank you.
Just want to send a shout out to Lou again for letting us use that
Yes,
out there.
yes,
man.
that was
Yeah, we-
fantastic.
Yeah, sure do appreciate them doing that for us.
Any old business? Good. New business?
I have quite a few supplemental appropriations. The first, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them are from general fund. And a lot of these are for the sheriff's office, and they are requests that I approved after speaking with them, getting information on what they needed for the remainder of the year. So I'm hoping this is a total. So I have jail supplies at $30,000 from general fund. Jail contract services for $5,000 from general fund. This specifically is for refrigeration service that needs to be completed by the end of the year, and their Pradco, which they use when they hire to do assessments. The new deputies or office or jail personnel have to go through certain assessments in order to be hired. Then I have road supplies from general fund of $5,500. I also have road contract services from general fund of $4,500. This is for their vehicle maintenance and again, their Pradco. Vehicle maintenance for them has gone up substantially, as far, even as oil changes. They were talking, they used to be like $50 and now they're $125 or something, so. And that's all in a matter of a year.
Good old inflation.
I have $3,000 for road leases out of the general fund. This is due to, I believe, a change to one of their leases. It had an increase during the year. And then I have salaries, Medicare, and OPERS, all out of general fund. This is for Common Pleas 1 employees to cover payout that they had a retiree, and then they had to hire an additional person, and they brought her in to do some training when Denise left. And then I also have on here salary for the judge of $700 out of general fund. This was a miscalculation for Judge Alt's pay. I want to make sure the judges are satisfied with their payments. So
That's good, that's a good catch.
get him so he's not short at the end of the year.
Right.
That's all right, he'll donate. It's fine, yeah. We'll talk to him afterwards. It's fine. That's kind of guy Damon is.
I think this is by statute that I have to pay him, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I have the real estate access fund, their hospitalization of $6,500. I believe this was a miscalculation, and it could have been from people coming and going and different plans that they're on in their hospitalization. I have from the American Rescue Plan Fund, $10,000 in equipment. This was for 4 radios, additional for the sheriff's office. It was actually 8, so this $10,000. It's actually the supplemental got put in before I knew that it was only going to be 4. So the 10 would have covered 8 radios, but they only needed 4. They sent the other 4 back. So then I also have the General Special Projects Fund, the contract service of $8,267. This was taken off of last week's agenda. This is for attorney fees for Pivot to pay Gina Grandillo. And the response that I got when I asked Lori Brickner, this is for payment for the months of May through September. And she's a legal advisor for the Pivot team and assists with the participants in the program. So this is just her invoice for the services. She sits in Pivot every Thursday, male and female. So
It is a little odd that it's, because she's been there a while. So-
generally, and
I
what
would
Lori
just
said, generally, her monthly billing, she gets
You would think.
monthly billing, but with her running for election,
right.
she's been a little behind, and they generally,
Catch up.
yeah, they can absorb. The dollars is already in that contract service line, but this bill came in.
Satisfied
So
with
this
that?
is above and beyond their normal budget amount that they allocate towards her?
Well, I don't know that it's above and beyond, but they only allocate when they need to pay the bill. So normally you would only see maybe a $500 or $600, and this is, $8,200.
So she didn't bill them on time then, or?
Correct. It's for a total of, I believe,
That makes
like
sense.
5 months
Okay.
time. And so, but she does, I have the bill, Lori even sent me the bill, and she reviews the docket, and she, has conferences with the Pivot clients, and then she sits through the court sessions.
Yeah, Judge Shufford had. to do
Yeah,
that.
and the planning meetings and all of that, so.
I thought,
Agree with that?
I thought they were paid out of the judge's budgets or.
No, this general special projects, I believe also part of this comes from the Pivot program,
Gotcha, okay.
so.
Okay.
I have $3,800 out of the capital project fund. This is for the airport for tiling and catch basin. Then I also have for the Justice Operating Fund, contract services of $65,000. This would be the utilities for the rest of the year. We take about our best guess during budget, and obviously utilities are going up. And then the last one I have is for $220,000 from the Children's Services Fund for a transfer that is required by state law. It goes into what we would consider Job and Family Services General Fund. This is a special fund that this Child Service Fund, and then they supplement their general fund with this because they pay a lot of their bills that way. That's all I have for supplementals.
For the top one, just real quick, for general fund, jail supplies, 30,000, was that a couple big ticket items? or was that-
Actually, that's just for the rest of the year. So basically what they pay out of their jail supplies is bedding, clothes, shoes,
shampoo.
so personal
The
items.
miscellaneous
Yes.
stuff, okay.
And I believe this should get them through the rest of the year for those types of items.
So moved, it's up to the supplemental appropriations, other than Judge Alt, we're gonna move. No, I'm just kidding.
Second.
Okay, discussion, just I have a couple of quick things. And we're gonna see, as we get closer to the end of the year, some cleanup.
You're gonna see, especially
There'll be
with
a
the
lot of
salaries,
stuff like that.
Medicare and
Yeah,
OPERS, you're gonna see those
definitely.
because people are gonna
Just
be
like-
making sure that they have the correct dollars in there.
So, on these payouts, I just want to bring this up as we go into the budget cycle. So, when someone retires in the county and they have all this accumulated vacation and et cetera, we historically to date have not set any money aside for that liability. So what happens is they leave, that's a liability, they come to the commissioners, we take it out of the general fund, we pay it. We discussed before, you guys know where this is going, so I'm bringing it up now. I know Commissioner Kirschner was working on it, setting up a fund, and we would call it, what would you just call this? It's a payout.
Yeah, I would have to give
We
their.
get a name for
Yeah.
it.
About the Rotary Fund, the Rotary.
Rotary
Day after.
Something.
The day after.
Yeah, and I think we could go back like 5 years and see how many of these things we had, divide it by some number, and then we could put 50 or 100 grand into that thing, whatever the numbers are. And then when one of these happens, we would just pay it out of that fund. And we wouldn't-
Retirement slush fund?
It's something, yeah. So, do you like, we've talked about it, but
Yeah.
now I'm trying to pin us down to, do we want to do it or not? If we do, then I think we should do it this budget.
I like the idea of it.
What do you think?
I think it would be convenient because if there's ever a downturn and, general fund gets down to a bare minimum, which we don't like that, but, it's very difficult because you don't know retirement. People leave when they terminate employment, they still get their vacation paid out. So it's probably a very good
I mean,
idea.
a lot of these are like 30,000.
And some of them, because some of them have been with the county
They've been there a long
for,
time. This is
that's
big time.
their entire career. And
So when
when,
John retires, we might not have enough money to pay him out.
Well, our checkbooks.
Absolutely, well, I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
well, and the thing is, when you do retirement payouts versus someone that actually just leaves employment,
Yeah.
they pay, you, by law, we have to pay 25% of their sick balance up to 240 hours or 210 hours, depending on what their max is. So, if they, even if they have, you're paying out generally 240 hours of sick time. That's usually a given unless they've had to use a lot of their sick time while they've been here. And their vacation at the time of retirement, they could have 5 years on, or 5 weeks on the books. So,
Why don't you?
it's a lot of,
So there-
and I have talked with Julie
about
about,
it, yeah.
she's given me a lot of information
Give us
about getting it set
create a
up.
name,
Mhm.
separation of employment or something, something.
Mhm.
Let's set it up, let's put a few bucks in it to start, and then then we'll have the mechanism in place, right? And then as we look at budgets and things, the beauty is we've got almost 2 million in our rainy day fund. And I think we're kind of getting close to, that seems to be pretty good. We're trying to keep 90-day supply of cash, so if we have a $20 million budget, we've got a couple million in the rainy day fund, we've got another $500,000 in the, what's that unrestricted fund that's,
We have a
special,
contingencies,
the
yeah.
contingency fund, and then we usually have, well, we hope to have $2-3 million in carryover, then it gets us to our 90-day supply of cash. So if we're not gonna, that's up to us too, by the way, we still could put money in the rainy day fund. There's no cap, right?
The cap for rainy day,
5%
is
of-
5% of prior year's revenue.
There's only a cap for what you can put in per year, but we could put 10 million in the rainy day fund, right? Is there a cap on that?
The budget
total-
stabilization, are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, budget
Budget
stabilization.
stabilization, yes, you can only do 5% of the prior year's revenue.
year.
Per year.
So a little over
But you
half, a
can-
little over
but
half.
Like
you're
the
a
2
million.
million could go to
Yeah.
3 million and there's no,
Right.
okay, so I guess the commission prior felt 2 million was a good number, so we could always discuss if we need to put more than 2 million in. I guess that's where I'm going with all this. And then, but if we're kind of happy there, we would be able to maybe put some money in this fund we're talking about and get that up to a number that's an average of 2 years worth of retirement payouts or some number like that.
I'm all for squirreling money away if we
Yeah,
can for
I
a
think
bad,
that's what-
time.
That's what we should do, and I think it'd be great for prudent as well. Okay, we're in agreement on it, so you'll report that as we get into the budget, right? So, thanks. Any more discussion? Brought it up just because we were in the middle of that. Yeah. Roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Okay, quite a few resolutions today. Resolution establishing the Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services ARPA Grant Fund 8138 on behalf of the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board.
Make a motion that we accept the resolution as presented.
Second?
Roll call?
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Resolution authorizing an amendment to the lease agreement between the Seneca County Board of Commissioners, I'm gonna screw this name up and I apologize.
Barnes.
Barnes, Desner,
Deinzinger.
Deinzinger, Seneca County Museum Foundation. This extends, it's just an amendment and it's extending our lease through, now will expire on December 31st of 2028.
Okay. Second. Commissioner
Bless
seconds. Little discussion. I want to commend the museum. They had a 3-year contract. That's up already. They asked us for a renewal of the lease. It's $1 a year. It would be for 5 years. John's been out there quite a bit with, working with the people that are, the foundation that's running the museum. Barbie, you've been out there, I think you're doing a great job. They asked for 5 years because they want to plan some of their big projects. They're putting a lot of, they're putting other money than county money, let's put it that way, into the museum. They're through various grants, through
A lot of sweat equity.
individuals, and just tons of man hours. And so we really appreciate what they're doing. And by going with a 5-year lease, they can now plan, 2, 3, 4 years out projects they want to do. And I think it's a win-win for the citizens of the county for sure. So that said, you want to add anything to that? That's good.
They're doing a great job.
Roll call.
Commissioner Franker?
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Aging on behalf of the Seneca County Commission on Aging for the Healthy Aging Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, I just want to add something to that. I want to commend Barb and Renee Smith, because this was like all of a sudden grant that showed up there, so
Today's,
they worked together diligently and got, received
$237,000. Yeah.
out of.
Free money.
There's no match or anything with that, so again, kudos to Barb and Renee for hammering this through, so.
right. We have a first and second, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
You got extra ones to sign with that, President?
Thank you.
Resolution amending the designation of the Emergency Planning Commission for Seneca County. It's just two additions. Our health commissioner is going to be representing under the health portion, and again, I'm going to probably butcher a name. I apologize. Deanna Ray from our environmental health.
Yeah, Diana, I think she goes by Diana.
Diana.
actually.
The way it's spelled, it doesn't look.
It is.
But she will be
Diana, yeah.
representing under the environmental portion.
Yeah, very impressed with her, by the way.
Yeah.
I think we got a good one.
Motion to accept the resolution.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to sign satisfaction of mortgage for Claire McCory for the satisfaction of her loan with the Seneca County Commissioners for work done through the Community House Improvement Program for fiscal year 2007.
So move.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
Resolution resolving the balances of government insured deposit program number 6169, formerly the Star Plus account, and Fifth Third Bank account number 3860 for the Seneca County Treasurer's Office.
So move.
Second.
Paul, clean it up.
I will tell you that
Guy is always
in
finding
total,
something.
it is $16.12.
He's running out of things to fix.
Paul the consolidator.
Paul, you're doing a great job. Yeah. Roll call on this one?
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
Okay, the next few have to do with the annexation for the city of Fostoria. There are requested from the prosecutor's office that we sign 3 copies of the same resolution so that all of them have correct signatures.
Or an original copy type thing.
Yeah. The first one is a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an amended and restated cooperative economic development agreement with the city of Fostoria and the Board of Trustees for Jackson Township.
Motion to accept the resolution as presented.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
The next one I have is a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an amended and restated cooperative economic development agreement with the city of Fostoria and the Board of Trustees of Loudon Township.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
It's your turn to second.
Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into a second addendum to agreement regarding sanitary sewer and water with the city of Fostoria.
So move.
I'll second it. Just
Tired of
So a little discussion, we said this before, but just so the public understands, this is a 20-year agreement. It's the exact same language for Jackson Township and Loudon Township. The city of Tiffin, so they have 2 separate agreements, but the city of Tiffin has one agreement, help me if I miss one, with Hopewell, Eden, Clinton. They're all part of one agreement. They have a 20-year annexation agreement. But in Fostoria, each township has a separate. So, just for the record. First and a second, so let's have a roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing collection of maintenance assessments on the Blanchard River Stream Enhancement Project to be collected in 2024.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Just so you know, it's only a $4 assessment for a property owner, and it only,
$100 or so.
it's 311 properties, I believe, so it's like $1,244 that will be collected.
Yeah, that's why we
He was
didn't
a
say a lot.
small guy in the room.
Right, that's, yeah.
Did you do that math in your head?
No, I know those numbers.
Where's your calculator?
Right here.
I'll make do we have a motion?
Yep, we have a
We do,
second.
Okay, so let's roll call?
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
The last resolution that is not on the agenda, because I needed to write it quickly this morning, is a resolution rescinding Journal 881, page 300, authorizing the Seneca County Commissioners to enter into agreement contract with the Seneca Regional Planning Commission to perform billing services on behalf of the Seneca County Sewer District, is rescinding the previous entry.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
And just so you guys know, I am working on writing the termination letter, and I will try to get that completed later today.
Okay, and there's been emails back and forth. We are going to work really hard on a smooth transition for all
Yes.
parties involved.
Yes.
Want that and are working on that, so I think that's a good thing. We should make that known. Any other business?
Potentially
Yes,
next
sir.
Thursday, I might not be here, so I could maybe schedule a conference.
Okay.
Just wanted to make a heads up, still in here.
Sure, well, we have
You have a
an
doctor's note?
I wish I
So for public clarification and for all of us up here, some of us are fairly new working together, we have a unwritten kind of a policy that if one of the commissioners are not here, we try not to bring up anything that's controversial or not in the course of day-to-day business. So, if there was something we wanted, two of us agreed on and one of us wasn't here, we could technically have the meeting and outvote, but we would never do that. And so I just want all of us to have that understanding, so when we put the agenda together, if we know one of us is not going to be there, for example, the sewer contract, we would never put that on the agenda with just two of us here. That's something that we all need to talk about and have that put on. So I just say that in the spirit of everybody working together. There's three of us, and so I may not ever say that again, but if I do, you can remind me. So we're good there? Okay, so at this time, we open up the floor to any public comment. Would anyone in here like to speak? Anything? Mary, you good? Caleb? Mr. Weidenbaugh.
I got a
come
big,
first.
I got a big comment, but John just left. I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
Next year, there's gonna be a driving tour to the cemetery, the county home. And when you go to the cemetery and drive back up to the county home, there's some things need a lot of attention.
Okay, good. Point.
Behind the big barn, be on the south side. I don't know when this got started. It got started, it wasn't near as big as when I was involved with it. But there's been cement block, concrete, wood, piled up that whole length of the barn. It looks like hell, and I think some of that wood's even piled up against the siding of the barn. There's vines growing up the back of the barn.
Yeah.
That's not good. Now come to the other side, to the north side. You first come to, there's a knoll there, and it's all grown up now. They burn stuff in there, which is fine. But 20 years ago,
Clean that up.
that knoll was a real mess, and Goober decided to fix it. I spent a lot of time leveling that off, grading that, and that was all seeded. Now, you need a place to burn, I understand that. Come up a little bit further, up to the incinerator. That incinerator hasn't been used, I know for sure, for 25 years. And there's cement block laying around there, and it's grown up around in there. Come a little bit further up to the shed, there's a flagpole laying there, probably with 2 tons of concrete on the bottom of it, which is probably from courthouse, I don't know that. There is railing laying up along there, probably from the courthouse. And there is 2 very nice street lights. I don't think they've been laying there long, but they shouldn't be laying there.
Are they the old chandelier looking ones that you're talking, or,
They look like the street lights that used to be here in town.
okay.
Okay.
But that has been a pet peeve of mine for quite a while. I've been trying to get to this point, but now with people will be driving down there.
sure.
You got a beautiful drive going down there, bicycle path going down there, goes nowhere. It would be beautiful if
Coming
you,
back.
Wonder if we can get Greg Smith and the jail crew on it?
if you could do something about that. That pile of stone, cement block and stuff behind the barn, that's humongous.
Yeah. Let's go, we go out there and take a look at it. So,
Should probably, yeah, do
a
that
couple
anyway.
comments. So, first of all, thanks for bringing that up because I wouldn't have thought of something behind like that, okay? So that's why we are the public safety building, you know, we're pressure washing, painting it, kind of, that's an eyesore. The incinerator, and this is either an apology, if we missed it, but it's definitely a clarification. When we tore down the youth center, I thought we were gonna tear the incinerator down, but evidently that didn't get put in
Yeah, that's good.
that paperwork. But we will absolutely, it probably won't be down in time for the tour, but it can be in this round with
The
Renee.
TV building, we could kind of do that in there.
Throw that in with that old TV building and the incinerator. We really want to clean that up. We're actually gonna, at some point, take those barns down.
Yeah.
But in an effort to clean up the drive back, I mean, we could clearly do some
Oh, yeah.
housekeeping and clean up some things.
Well, the vines and the grass
all
growing
that.
up, that would be
Yeah.
relatively simple.
And I 100%, you guys feel,
Oh, great, yeah.
are, you know, so we will get
I
on
wanted
that.
John to hear it too, and
Yeah.
he walked out right before. I mean, I'm not criticizing, it just,
Yeah,
it's not a dump, but commissioners before you and before that,
yeah.
get
That's
rid of
just-
stuff, there's a place for it. But
Yeah.
it got started, and once it gets started, you can't stop it unless you
Yeah,
get rid of it.
no, I understand, right.
Takes it back.
Very good point, but let's make sure we get that incinerator to Renee. There's another $1 million coming back to Seneca County from Brownfield money,
Wow.
the state of Ohio. We had $1 million last year. That's how these churches got tore down and the TSUP parking lot got tested and other things. I'm missing some. But we have another round of money. The juvenile center.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was tore down, that was part of that, so, taxpayers, we set 100,000 aside to tear that down, and we didn't need to use it. We got the Brownfield grant. So this next round, it works so well in the state to clean up blight, and it raises property values, it's really a good thing. and governments are eligible. So this round, we would like to not only add the now incinerator, but the TV building out there. It's that little building, you know what I'm talking about. It's just sitting there, it's just
Oh, yeah.
decaying, and we might as well take it down. Because we are all gonna put a new ag building up there, and really, all that stuff's gonna eventually go. Yeah, so if we can chip away at it with grant money and Seneca County money, that's great. It's all taxpayer money, so I have to be careful how I say it. but,
I was thinking, you know, Mark Zimmerman probably has placed in the county to throw concrete and stuff in to build it.
That's the first thing I thought of, so yeah. we'll
There's
get-
gotta be like
with Mark and
places
see what
like
he can do
that.
to help us
Gotta
with that.
be. And he would have the equipment to move it.
Yep.
You know, it's an interesting question, because I remember last year, there was like an emergency, a ditch was plugged out. And one of the townships ran out there with their truck, and they opened it up. But they're like, where do we dump this? So guess where they dumped it? You know, they took it back there and dumped it.
Sure. Well,
And,
there's some sidewalk got bumped
but
back there that I hadn't
you know,
seen before, so that, there's some new stuff. Yeah.
usually that goes in the back 40, but for us, it goes right there where
Yeah.
everybody could see it.
Yeah, right up and,
Okay, good, thank you for bringing that up. Anybody else want to bring anything up? Good. Mayor Greenslade's here.
I'm gonna give a quick EMS update. I think I might have pulled
Yes.
out two of you, but, so there's basically a 4-step process for us joining the county, the joint ambulance district. We already did the resolution asking the joint ambulance district, they accepted us, that part's done. Last meeting, council passed a resolution reducing our 4.94 levy that was fire and EMS to 2.5. So basically, we'll just be paying our fire contract amount out of that. And then, of course, we assume the joint ambulance district's 2.5. So the next step and the final step in the whole process is the Budget Commission in Sandusky County accepting that. They're meeting November 7th. Once they accept our resolution to reduce our levy, it's done. And we are
Then the two auditors,
completely.
the auditors get that all
Yep.
figured out, right, on how to
Yep.
build the homes and,
Yeah. So just wanted to give you that quick update.
well, thanks for that.
The last step is
The last, yep.
Jerry Miller's group over there, Auditor Miller and Sandusky County's Budget Committee accepting our reduction in
It's never easy, like, the general public has no idea what you had to go through to,
just figuring out the process to
get
do
this
that.
stuff.
It seems like a very simple 4-step process was not easy, but we got it done.
it's government,
Or
right?
we almost had it done.
Yeah.
I assume that that's kind of just a stamp at the Budget Commission level. If we want to reduce our levy, they're gonna let us do that.
Right.
Thanks for your persistence.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
That's one of your last finales before you leave office.
We'll see what happens on election day. It
Yep,
might be,
yeah.
the end might be quicker than the end of the year.
Are we good? Ashley, Kayla, Sherry, everybody's here. Okay, so we, next meeting is next Thursday.
Next
We're
Thursday.
good. Month of November.
just-
Oh, here's what I was thinking, is, and so for, we have Thanksgiving too. So we changed the meeting to Tuesday
I believe usually
for
is,
our conference, but are we want to change Thanksgiving week's meeting to Tuesday?
Yep.
If we didn't officially do that, did we?
I don't
just had a
believe so.
thought.
I don't know if it's on the schedule already as a Tuesday meeting or if it's,
Can we just make?
Yeah, we can
Just for
just-
the record, everybody's good with that?
Yep.
So we'll have our weekly meeting, we'll just have it on Tuesday, those 2 weeks.
Just bring real quick for you, bang the gavel. If Commissioner Frankert isn't gonna be here next Thursday, the Main Street accreditation thing, it's not a all-day thing, but I think it goes from 8 AM next Thursday till about 2 in the afternoon. So I mean, I don't know if you guys wanna bump up the meeting or reschedule. I mean, if you're gonna be gone, I mean, I got something I could be doing that first half of the morning. So I'll have to show up there, dip out for this meeting and go back, but it just, either way. I don't know if we have a heavy agenda
Whatever you
next
guys
week or
wanna
not.
do.
You.
I think it, well,
Give you some time
it's
to
the
catch up on
first, it's the
stuff.
first, we may have to, because you're talking 2 weeks before there's another meeting, unless we change a meeting schedule, unless we do a Tuesday meeting or something, or a Wednesday meeting or something, because 2 weeks is a long time for business to sit, and it makes the meetings longer.
So the hard part having that Tuesday meeting, they're always, it takes a while to prepare for.
Correct.
So today's
Correct.
Thursday, think
I
about
have
it.
to have
We
everything, I have to have
Tuesday.
everything out
There's
to
not gonna
media
be a
tomorrow
whole lot of-
That's
afternoon
what- like
for
Wednesday,
Tuesday's
so we'll
meeting.
give you
If we
an
do it
extra day.
Wednesday, I have to have it to the media, no later than Monday afternoon, for public meeting.
So that's probably better than Tuesday.
But then I also have to make an announcement to all the departments, and I still need to have all of their information, by tomorrow.
I'd say we keep
Don't,
it,
just
So-
keep it
I'd
then.
say we keep it Thursday.
Yeah, I
or
think it'd
we
be
cancel.
much easier,
And Commissioner will be excused because you'll just come over, it'll be a short meeting.
It's fine.
So we'll need you because there'll be two of us.
Yeah.
That's fine.
For sub apps and
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
things, right?
and as far as I can tell, I haven't gotten a whole lot for the next meeting yet, but that doesn't mean, everything's,
Anything big, we'll.
I can push off to the
Yeah,
next,
and
That's fine.
And it could
the
be a
next
little,
meeting.
like I said, it's a little bit up in the air right now anyway for.
so.
Well, here's the thing.
If he doesn't go, possible,
Right.
then we'll have it and you can be there.
Yeah,
So we'll just,
Should know something next day or so.
it's not a perfect scenario, but I think we got all our bases covered.
and the possibility if we don't have a quorum, it can always be canceled. It just goes out as a notice that it's canceled, so.
Might hate to do that.
No.
I do too, but
Worst case.
Right now, we have the meeting.
okay.
Good?
Yeah,
Good?
Yep.
So the next meeting will be.
next Thursday.
Mr. Brian Ball.
There's a tree growing up back in there too, that I don't know why they're leaving that tree grow. It's behind, it's closer to the cemetery from the incinerator. It's in that same group, but there's a tree
That's
growing
ugly
up
in there.
there.
It's just, okay, we can get that.
Yeah, it's right there. I don't know. That's where they always burn stuff.
I tell you what, next Thursday, after the meeting, we'll ride out there with you. I'll ride out there with you. This will be one heck of a day. He's our property, these two guys do all the property stuff, but because it's Mr. Brian Ball, and his wife went to school with my dad, I'm gonna go out there with him. And, that would be great. And you can show us, okay?
It's pretty hard. You won't miss it.
I know, yeah, but that'll be good.
Take John with you too.
John meets out there too, just kinda, yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Ashley, good to see you.